Today, we're diving into Plugmate, aka PlugOS, which is a USB thumb drive isolated computer all-in-one chipset. It's basically a USB-sized thumb drive that you plug into a computer or Android tablet, and it has its own RAM, processor, and storage space so that you can run an isolated Android operating system, where you can, in theory, then control all your own private data without running the risk of it leaking to the host that you are communicating with. Trusted Kernel say they collect zero data, they have virtual sensors, and total transparent network controls. Use cases for a device like this might be if you're a journalist wanting to hide your sources, or maybe even just a homelabber that wants to try out sandbox environment applications. Whatever the use case, this device could be exactly what you're looking for. This is the PlugOS, aka the Plugmate by Trusted Kernel. It's a USB-C all-in-one mobile computer. It has its own RAM, 4 GB on this model. It has an octa-core processor and 128 GB of built-in storage. The purpose is you plug this into something like an old laptop or an untrusted tablet. For example, my S7 Plus here, which no longer receives security updates, which means technically it is vulnerable to external and local attacks. You can plug this into computers and have a virtual Android operating system desktop experience that is supposed to be more secure. You can even have this self-destruct when entering an incorrect password. Very light. Okay. We've got some instructions, a warranty card. We've got a unique product key, which I won't put on camera. We've got a nice USB-C adapter that can hold the device on the back of your phone. And we've got a protective casing, which apparently is more to do with saving your fingers from the heat, because this has an octa-core processor inside it and its own RAM, and therefore can generate a little bit of heat. So apparently we can pop this in here. So when connected to this casing, you can't use the lid. Oh, I suppose you can. You can put it on, it's just a little bit more exposed. There we go. You have to take it off to put it on. Okay. It's got no USB pass-through, but you might not need that. You're supposed to plug that in there, and then you can put that on the back of your phone or tablet. I might struggle on the back of this because it might work, but it won't work with a stand. Fortunately, that is right on where my stand fits there. So we might just do this the old-fashioned way and plug it directly in. I suppose this is better used on a mobile phone or something. So the next thing we're going to do is download the Plugmate companion app. This gives us a bit of an overview of the app itself. You need this companion app for it to work correctly. And the app is installed. If we open that, and it says no data collection, full disk encryption, plug and play, built-in PlugOS. Works on iOS, Android, Windows, macOS. And then it says read the privacy policy and user agreements. So this is the PlugOS on Plugmate by Trusted Kernel. Standard looking Android tablet. This is obviously plugged into the tablet, and we are using the PlugOS software to connect. It basically allows us to kind of, it's a remote desktop almost, where it lets us actually connect to the device itself through the app. The app is the monitor, the screen, if you will. So as you can see, it's got a 3G connection. That is just a kind of like a fake placeholder for the Wi-Fi that the tablet is currently connected to. From the get-go, you've got a few basic Android things like contacts, the dialer, messaging apps, K9 for mail, Heliboard. Heliboard is the built-in keyboard. It's supposed to stop your physical Android device from capturing information on there. So you could certainly use that. Looking at the device from the outset, it has a web browser that you can use. And if we go to Google, now I am using a physical keyboard, which defeats the purpose of the app because by using the built-in on-screen keyboard, it's not your actual Android tablet keyboard you're actually using the built-in one. If I use the physical one, it defeats the purpose because it's all about not tracking. But if we do browser fingerprint test, let's see if we've got anything on here. See if we can test the web browser, shall we? Okay, so our test indicate that you have strong protection against web tracking, blocks ads, invisible trackers, protecting you from fingerprint. Your browser has a unique fingerprint. These are the results. Web headers. It's identifying itself as Android 10, picking up our time zone as Asia, Shanghai. It's amazing how much information can be provided just through your browser. So that's rating us as strong protection. Let's check out the Am I Unique? So yes, you are unique. The browser is implementing a lot of anti-tracking measures. So that's its built-in web browser. It's definitely Chromium based. Now, if we look at some of the apps that are installed, we've got the apps menu here, the CU keyboard, privacy first, local Chinese input. Can we uninstall these? Disable them. So the CU keyboard is disabled. Is that, yeah, we're using the Heli board, so that's fine. We can disable certain apps. In the settings, you have got PlugOS. So you've got device authentication, which means you can set up one-time codes, regenerate product keys, manage host lists. It's got an advanced security suite. Got a wrong password, a self-destruct, and a duress code that you can set in here that can wipe all data off the device if you input this particular passcode into the device, for example. You can already set it to something like 5 incorrect attempts and it will automatically wipe the system. And again, the duress code. So we could put that in here as, so yeah, so if we do, for example, an L and then do another L, that means if we ever put an L pattern on here, and if it was a pin code, it'd ask you for a pin code that you wanted, it will it will destroy everything on this computer, this USB-C computer. So the Plugmate itself, which increases security. You've got security policies, which we've set. We have a built-in firewall application that is currently turned off. With login, it's currently in blacklist mode, at which point you can choose what you want to allow, what you don't want to allow. For example, the K9 mail, we could say that it is net allowed or net blocked. For example, we could just block that app from accessing the internet. Just to prove that that is working correctly, we could actually also include system apps. Type in the browser, which is Veil. We could do net blocked. Try and open that browser. And then when we go to Google, you'll find it actually bloody works. And just to check, let's just double check our PC app is off. Well, that firewall's definitely not working for us. Can it access the camera? Nope, because we didn't enable that on the actual main screen. If we go out of here and we go to home, back to the host, we can see that we haven't enabled camera, but we do enable camera, microphone, and then go back in and then try and use the camera app. We see we now have access to the camera app. Can we switch cameras around? Yes, we can. We're switching that camera around. It's the job. But the cameras work if you enable them. That's good that you can actually turn that off. Now, it does come with an app store in here as well. I always have problems getting the app drawer to come up and work. But if you click something like that, it actually brings it up for you. Can we update that? Yes, so it allows us to update without signing in to just some of the system apps there. I personally would use F-Droid if you're not wanting to sign into the Google services. Naturally, you're trying to de-Google yourself if you're using a device like this. You don't want to be tracked. The whole point of this is not to be tracked. So F-Droid seems like a good option. Now, one of the first things that I would recommend you do when you get into this system is go to Settings, go to PlugOS Settings, and under Security Policy, create a duress code. A duress code essentially is you can put in like a pattern or a pin that you set up on the device, and if you enter that under duress, i.e. being forced, it will wipe the device. In our case, we're going to create an L shape for that. Oh, sorry, the first one we've got to do is actually put in our actual and then set the one we want. So in our case, we're going to put an L. Now, even if you're never going to use that feature, it does have a really good reason for being enabled. You can use it to almost hard reset the device, even though it's a software method. For example, after a couple of plugs and unplugs, the device for some reason decided to just stop booting up, i.e. also have a good backup method. Don't just keep your data on this one device. Putting the duress code in wiped it for me and allowed me to re-enable the device and reinitialize it and reset it back up. So the duress code actually works as a good emergency backup when everything goes wrong. Just make sure you're using something like a 3-2-1 backup method. The other thing I would do is the device itself is quite chatty for a private security vault. And what I mean by that is it connects to a lot of different services. One of the services that I did see this connecting to was the state Chinese DNS resolver. Now, by its own merit, I'm not saying there's anything bad with that. However, I personally like to keep my DNS searches and queries private. So the fastest way to do that, if you don't have your own DNS resolver at home, like AdGuard or Unbound, is to, in the settings, go to Network and Internet, go down to Private DNS, select Private DNS Provider Hostname, and just type in dns.adguard.com. Simple as that. Click Save. Now, all we've got to do is open the Veil web browser, and that's another thing I would suggest doing as well. Disabling all the apps you don't use, and we'll get onto that in a second. But if we go to something like google.com, just to make sure that internet access is still resolving, which it is, and then we go to who is my DNS. There we go, DNS AdGuard. Who is my DNS.com can. And that's definitely confirming that we are now running over adguarddns.com. So yeah, I again would recommend that you disable all the applications that you don't use in here. You can do that in the settings menu, where you can go down to apps. Now, before disabling something like the web browser or the keyboards and installing your own, I would obviously recommend installing the new stuff first. One of the other things I would highly recommend is, rather than use the built-in app downloader, is to actually download something like F-Droid, and I would probably use that over APK Pure after some of the latest scares. So if you go to F-Droid, download F-Droid, allow unknown sources, install F-Droid. That's now open, at which point we can go into F-Droid. We can allow notifications if you want to. Oh, it's currently updating repositories. Give it a second. Okay, so that looks like that's completed. Okay, so we've got DuckDuckGo privacy browser updated 6 days ago. We can't get Brave on yet, but we can certainly try this. If we install DuckDuckGo privacy browser, this is an alternate method. It's taking control. Don't forget to allow those permissions when they pop up. It takes control, and then it gives you more of a secure environment. So there we go, DuckDuckGo is installed, and yeah, we'll choose our browser as DuckDuckGo, set as default. So now we have our own DNS, we have our own web browser, ironically using Google as the tested, even though we're trying to get away from that. Under F-Droid, what we can also do is find a keyboard. In fact, let's just go to the web browser, shall we? So if we go to DuckDuckGo and we go to Futo, we'll try and turn that off in a second. Futo keyboard. Download Futo keyboard from F-Droid. So it says we can use this link, copy link access, go into F-Droid, settings, repositories, add repository, enter the URL manually, which we've just got, add repository, and then install Futo keyboard, which is an offline privacy-friendly keyboard. Now we're going to click install. We're going to open Futo, open input methods. We're going to enable Futo. Switch input methods from Heliboard to Futo. This app doesn't connect to the internet. It won't be able to check for automatic updates. You have to check for them manually, so that's fine. And then obviously you can customize that, theme it, do whatever you want with it. But it's, again, a keyboard we installed that we control. Go to settings. Display, dark theme, for God's sake. Yes, keep dark theme on here. You're a madman if you don't use a dark theme. Go to apps, go down the list to find the apps that we wanted to get rid of and disable them. Oh, can't disable the firewall. We can disable the Play Store, we can disable CU keyboard, and for now we can disable the Veil browser. Some of the things that we're not going to be using. Not going to be using built-in calculator apps. Not going to be using the built-in calendar. Certainly not going to be using Android Auto on this device. And there we go. So the storage anyway that we have in here is up to 128 gigs. We can enable the storage manager just so we can keep an eye on that. That's pretty much it. So we go to DuckDuckGo now and we open, yeah, we've got our Futo keyboard on here. So that's great. And there we go. So that's the other thing that I would do. Take control of DNS, take control of the apps, install your own firewall such as NetGuard if you're going to want to do that. And then make sure you have backups of all your data. Don't leave everything on this device. Make sure you have encrypted backups. That's pretty much it. So there's not much more to it than that. The idea is you would use this to host secure information, secure files, basically use it like a portable Android-based computer system on phones, tablets, computers, wherever. It's a sandbox environment. If you were to download malware on this thing, or you had malware on the device you were connecting to, it's not going to cross over. It's cryptographically sealed. So mixed blessing. At the same time, you can't do any heavy auditing of the base code because you can't access it. So I hope I've given you all the tools you need to make an informed decision about purchasing this device. I will leave a link in the pinned comment below. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.